early this morning.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you. So now the work begins. We won, but now the work begins. We have to bring
Witkoff
them
visiting
home.
Gaza to ensure the ceasefire deal is implemented.
And, you know,
Yeah, I
tonight,
saw that. But they're
I'm gonna
also
be
opening up
signing
2,000-pound
on the J6
munitions.
hostages, pardons.
They're going to continue giving extra munitions to Israel. Here, look at this.
And as soon as I leave, I'm going to the Oval Office, and we'll be signing pardons for a lot of people, a lot of people. And thank you to Steve Witkoff. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. He's been a very successful man. He's a great negotiator. He's a wonderful guy. People love him, and he's got a tremendous power of persuasion. And that's what we need. We don't need stiffs. We don't need stiffs. We got a lot of stiffs. You just had a whole load of them. And to the former hostages with us today, welcome. Welcome home. Some of the folks are former hostages. Not a good situation. The three young ladies that came home yesterday, you saw that. They're more coming home every day now. They're coming home. But they were hurt. They were hurt. They were hurt. One had her head blown off. Fingers.
Oh, God, bro. Don't say that in front of them. Holy shit.
She was trying to defend herself from a bullet being
Oh, my
fired. You
God,
believe this?
bro.
A
He is
bullet
so crazy.
knocked off her hand. I don't know. You look at it, it's a disgrace. We never stop.
Oh, my
praying for you,
God.
and we're so glad that you're reunited.
Bro, in front of the parents, dude.
Bless you all. And some of them are just saying, no, my son is gone, but please just bring home his body. Right, Steve? Many of you have told me that your son is gone, but bring home his body. It should have never happened. 3 years, it's ridiculous. Should have never happened. Wouldn't have happened. I also want to express my tremendous gratitude to the hundreds of thousands of proud American patriots who came from all across the country to join us in this celebration. It's a celebration of a big win. And you're witnessing the dawn of the golden age of America. That's what it's going to be. We're bringing it back. We're going to bring it back fast. We're going to bring it back fast. Let us also thank the incredible service members, National Guardsmen, Police, Secret Service, and law enforcement personnel who are keeping us all safe, even though they are great people. New York's finest. I grew up with New York's finest.
Damn, bro. He is tired. Vibe shift. I feel like does Trump no longer have the same motion and juice that he once did?
The way they run things in this country now, it's disgraceful, but it's going to change rapidly. We're going to make
He's EP, bro. He's EP. He's an EP guy.
Indoors, we've had a magnificent inaugural parade. And let's give a big round of applause. They were great. To all of the incredible performers
he is 80.
and hardworking men and women who made it possible. Those people.
It does make sense.
Really talented, amazing people. I also want to thank my wonderful family for being here, especially my beautiful wife, our First Lady, Melania. I love our First Lady. Also, JD. How good has JD been? And his beautiful wife, Usha. How good is JB? JD has been great. He's another good negotiator, Steve. He's a great negotiator, too. We need negotiators in this country. But so many of the people on the stage behind, not only family members, as an example, Lara Trump, the wife of Eric. She was the head of the Republican Party, along with my friend Michael. Stand up, the two of you. What a job. What a job they did. They worked so hard. They knew there'd be rigging, but they said, we're going to make it too big to rig, and we did. We made it too big to rig. We won every swing state by a lot. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won the whole ball of wax. And now we're going to go and drill, baby, drill, and do all the things that we've wanted to do and bring your costs down, your prices down, and make our country safe. So thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much. What a job you've done, Michael. I'm never moving you, you know. He was thinking about getting a nice job in the administration. I said, no, I'm leaving you right where you are. You've done a very good job. We're not moving you, Michael. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Right here with us also in the arena, I'm about to sign some very important executive orders of our new administration. Hey, Don, will you stand up, please? Don is another one. How about Don? This guy.
Libs of TikTok defending Nazi salute. PBS News, which is publicly funded, is spreading propaganda that Elon Musk made a fascist salute during a speech at the Capital One Arena. Their own video clearly shows that he was motioning. My heart goes out to you, to the audience. Defund PBS. Libs of TikTok, Chaya Reichik, once again, is an Orthodox Jewish woman, okay? Like, as long as someone is rich, Republican, and pro-Israel, they can straight up be like, I love Adolf Hitler, and people will still be like, all right, it's cool. He didn't mean it. He meant like he loves Hitler's veganism. Fetterman's brain damage going strong. Fetterman admits that Lake and Riley Act does not protect dreamers. Asked why he broke his promise never to vote to harm dreamers, he muttered about wearing a hoodie and gym shorts at the inauguration. I don't see why people are so concerned with how others dress, he replied. Yeah, brain damage has caused this man to become a conservative, and he will be flipping to the Republican Party. Mark my words. Bro, are you a moron? His salute didn't mean shit. Okay, I need to say something here. I don't need to see Elon Musk. I don't need to see Elon Musk hit a Nazi salute to know that he's a Nazi, dumbass. But he did do a Nazi salute. The fact that we're acting like he didn't do that is hilarious.
Thank you.
He already was a Nazi, and now he's just doing the Nazi salute.
He knew the youth vote. You know, we won the youth vote by 36 points. And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one. And we did a lot of them. And he respects them all. He understood them very well. And he said, Dad, you got to go out, do Joe Rogan, do all these guys. And we did. We did. And Joe Rogan was great. They were all great, right, Aaron? They were all good. He understood the market. Another famous one. How about Kai? Stand up, Kai.
Kai Cenat? No! I thought...
Is that Byron Donalds back there? Stand up, Byron.
It's so funny to have the hostage family stand up behind you as you were just like hype up all of your family members and other like sycophants and stuff, and they're just like standing there like, okay, cool.
Great,
I guess.
Thank you very much. And how about Lutnick, Secretary of Commerce? He's going to take in more money than any country has ever even thought about. He's going to take in some money. And we have many others. Look, I'm not going to go through it, but we're going to sign some orders right now, and that's really what I want to do. So we're going to sign executive orders. First, I'll revoke nearly 80 destructive and radical executive actions of the previous administration, one of the worst administrations in history. Maybe not one of them, the worst. Anybody that would allow millions of people to pour through our borders from jails, prisons, mental institutions, insane asylums, gang members to be taken off the streets of Venezuela and deposited in our country, and many, not just Venezuela. You know, crime in Venezuela is down 74% because they took their criminals and gave them to us through an open border policy of the previous administration. All over the world, they're emptying their prisons into our country. They're emptying their mental institutions into our country. It stops as of 1 o'clock this afternoon, okay? It stops. So I'm revoking nearly 80 destructive, radical executive actions of the previous administration. They'll all be null and void within about, what, 5 minutes? Is that them over there? 5 minutes? And next, to gain immediate control of the vast federal, out-of-control bureaucracy, I will implement an immediate regulation freeze, which will stop Biden bureaucrats from continuing to regulate. Most of those bureaucrats are being fired. They're gone. Should be all of them, but some sneak through, but we have to live with a couple, I guess. I'll also issue a temporary hiring freeze to ensure that we're only hiring competent people who are faithful to the American public. And we will pause the hiring of any new IRS agents. We will also require that federal workers must return to the office in person. And we're going to take the 88,000 people that they hired to go after you with guns. By the way, they're allowed to use guns and harass you like they were so many other people. Remember this. Okay, remember? Do you remember a little statement about tips? Does anybody remember that little statement? I think we won Nevada because of that statement. But they went out and harassed you over the tips. In other words, we are restoring control of our government to the people. We're going to take those 88,000. Let's see if they'd like to work on the border, because that's where we want them, really. So we're going to have no tax on tips, right? No tax on tips. And we may have, like the Speaker of the House, is he here? He's done such a good job. Is Mike here? He's around here someplace. I saw him just a little while ago. Hello, fellas. Look at you guys. Yeah, I know it. He's great. He's doing great. They're all doing good. The Republican Party has never been unified like it is right now. They want to save our country. And we're going to more than save it. We're going to make it greater than it's ever been before by a lot. Next, I'm going to sign a presidential memorandum directing every member of my cabinet to marshal every power at their disposal to defeat inflation and rapidly bring down the cost of daily life, because your costs have gone through the roof in the last 4 years. Perhaps you didn't notice. Does anyone notice their costs are like double, triple, quadruple? You can't buy bacon. Apples have doubled in price. You want an apple, anybody? Pay twice what you did 2 years ago. We'll put more money in your pocket, and we'll bring back the American dream and to reduce energy costs and liberate our economy. So we have more oil and gas than any country in the world, and we're going to use it. We're not going to do the wind thing. Big, ugly windmills, they ruin your neighborhood. They ruin you. If you have a house that's near a windmill, guess what? Your house is worth less than half. And did you see up in New England with the whales? You see what's happening? So they had 2 whales killed in about 14 years. Last year and the year before, total, they had 28. So if you're into whales, you don't want windmills either. And they're the most expensive form of energy that you can have by far. And they're all made in China, by the way, practically all of them.
Boo!
And they kill your birds and they ruin your beautiful landscapes. But other than that, I think they're quite good, right? Now, remember when we used to joke and kid when we were kidding, but we don't kid anymore? They want to watch the debates on television. They want to watch your favorite president on television. But the wind isn't blowing, so we can't watch television that night, Gladys. Remember? Gladys, I'm sorry, the wind is just not blowing. We're not watching Trump tonight. But I'm immediately withdrawing from the unfair, one-sided Paris Climate Accord ripoff. The United States will not sabotage our own industries while China pollutes with impunity. You know, China, I mean, look, they use a lot of dirty energy, but they produce a lot of energy. And when that stuff goes up in the air, you know, it doesn't stay there. It's not like you got a wall. We love walls, don't we? Not like you have a wall around and it doesn't. It floats into the United States of America after 3.5 to 5.5 days. It floats across the oceans and it comes right over your neighborhood and it falls into your neighborhood. So they all say, we have to fight for...
Alex Press brought up something really funny, but he has the families of the Israeli hostages on stage and he's talking about pardoning the January 6 hostages. And there is something very ironic about that.
Under the Trump administration, and we didn't do anything to stop jobs and stop production, believe me. You're going to see a lot of companies come pouring back because tariffs. I always say tariffs is the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary. Then I was reprimanded by the fake news. They said, what about love, religion, and God? I said, I agree. Let's put God number one. Let's put religion number two. Love, I don't know. We got to put that number 3, I guess, right? And then it's tariff. Because tariffs are going to make us rich as hell. It's going to bring our country's businesses back that left us. And I'll also sign an executive order to immediately end federal government censorship of the American people. In America, we believe in free speech. And we're bringing it back starting today to stop the weaponization. Oh, do I know about that? These creeps. Deranged Jack Smith. You ever hear of him? Deranged. He's a deranged prosecutor. He's sick. They suck him on me. He's now been reduced to...
Apparently, Alex also wrote about how he also referred to the Palestinians in Israeli prisons as hostages as well.
Did they pardon Jack Smith?
Trump.
Did you know that Biden, while I was making my speech, pardoned his whole family?
Boo!
The brother, the whole deal was pardoned. Can you imagine that? While I was making my speech. Did everybody hear my speech? Did you like my speech? Thank you. I mean, the only thing wrong with it is I had a lot of tough things to say, and I have some great people that work for me. Sir, this is such a great speech. It's so unifying. Don't talk about Biden with it.
Alex Press did a misinformation. He's using the word, oh, never mind. I'm correcting the record. I just meant he's using the word hostage to refer to political prisoners. He didn't say hostages about Palestinians. I was wrong. I was wrong because I was misguided by so-called quote-unquote journalist Alex Press.
Won't be unified like it is. It's so beautiful the way it is, and it is getting great reviews.
The new administration has officially kickstarted, and we're already doing misinfo.
The fake news goes crazy, right? So
Already.
I said, all right, I won't put it in my speech, but you know what? I'm speaking in front of a hell of a lot of people at a place called Capital One Arena, and I'll talk about it there. So we're going to be going over the beautiful Oval Office, one of the great offices in history. Even if it wasn't beautiful, it's the Oval Office, but it is beautiful. And we love the Oval Office. It all starts with the wars start and
droning
end there.
on and on.
Everything
oh my
starts
God.
and ends at the Oval Office. We love it. But we're going to go to the Oval Office. We're going to sign. We're going to release our great hostages that didn't do, for the most part, they didn't do stuff wrong. You see, take a look at what went on, and look what happens in other parts of the country. In Portland, where they kill people, they destroy the city, nothing happens to them. In Seattle, where they took over a big chunk of the city, nothing happened. Minneapolis, where they burned down the city, nothing happened. Essentially nothing happened. All they want to do is go after the J6 hostages. A 76-year-old grandmother was arrested the other day because she was looking, I think because she was looking at the Capitol or something like that. No, we're not going to put up with that crap anymore. And to stop the weaponization of law enforcement, I've been investigated more than any human being in the world. I believe I have the all-time record. Every day a subpoena. Every single day would get subpoenas. I was more than any person. Alphonse Capone, remember I used to talk about it? Now, Alphonse Capone, Scarface, he was a pretty rough guy. He was investigated about 1/100th what Trump was investigated. My father's looking down at me, my mother, how the hell did this happen? You know what it is? They investigated their political opponent, the opponent of Biden, and then ultimately Kamala. Has anyone ever heard of Kamala? We had to beat two opponents, you know? We had to beat Biden, then we beat him. Now he goes on top. The guy was like 39 points down. I think I could have beaten Trump. They should have left me and I would have beaten. No, his debate performance wasn't the best, right? That's what killed him. And then they had to change, and that's like you get into a fight. The great Dana White spoke last night. We love Dana White, right? UFC. That's like he puts in two fighters. One of them's getting creamed, getting really beaten, and they say, all right, take him out. Let's put somebody else in to finish up the fight. That's what they did to us. They gave us somebody new, but we took care of both of them. So we beat actually two opponents. But to stop the weaponization of law enforcement and our government, I will also sign an order directing every federal agency to preserve all records pertaining to political persecutions under the last administration, of which there were many, and beginning the process of exposing any and all abuses of power, even though he's pardoned many of these people. Can you believe it? He's pardoned them. You know why he did it while I was speaking? Because that way I couldn't speak about it. I was speaking. I didn't know he did it. I finished my speech, and they said, sir, he pardoned his whole family. I said, oh, can I go back out there and talk about it? Somehow that wouldn't be very elegant. Our First Lady would say, please don't do that. But we have plenty of time to talk about it, and we will. We're doing all of this on our very first day in office. You know, don't forget, we've been in this position, really, where we won the primaries in record time. We were the fastest win of a primary ever in political history, which is a very nice thing. It's nice to know. Well, the second election was rigged, so we knew we were doing well. And if it wasn't, you know what? If it wasn't, I would have never run. But this third one was just a monster. Boy, was that a big one, huh? That was a big one. On the second one, we got like 10 or 12 million votes more than the first one. How about that? We did great on the first one. We did much better on the second one. But bad did we do well on the third one. So we're gonna have some fun. It's very simple. We're gonna make our country great. We're gonna make our country great again. We're gonna make America great again. How good a name is MAGA, though, right? You know? I was going to say, keep America great, but unfortunately it wasn't great. Can't say keep it great. It will be great again, but CAG, keep America great, CAG, I don't think it's ever going to replace MAGA. Does anybody like CAG? I don't think so. It's never replacing MAGA. Nothing will ever replace MAGA. MAGA was
that's
the
your own
most
thing.
successful political operation, political movement in the history of our country, maybe in the history of the world. Let's see what happens, because we're not finished yet. We're not finished yet. We have a long way
Keg,
to
it's
go.
not so good, Keg.
But we're doing this on the very first day in office, and in just a few moments, I'm not only signing the release of the J6 hostages, I'm signing other things that you're going to love. Oh, you're going to be happy reading newspapers tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day.
Yeah, he's keeping the Israeli family hostages hostage again, you know?
It's full to the
Hostage on
rafters.
stage.
You don't have any. Look at those people up there.
He's holding them hostage, too.
You don't have any empty seats. And by the way, the Capital One owners, they are so good.
While talking about the real hostages, January 6th.
To us. And I just want to thank Ted and everybody. You guys have been fantastic. And the ice hockey team's doing great. Ovechkin's pretty good, right? They're doing great. So I want to thank them, Capital One Arena owners. They have been absolutely fantastic. And thank you once again to everyone. And I can only tell you, you're going to be very happy. You're going to watch a lot of good things happen. We got to stop some wars that are happening and going on. Some stupid things are happening. The war with Ukraine would have never happened, and it has. As you know, Israel would have never been hit on October 7th. And
Oh, no, he's turning to them.
None of you would even know anything about this tragedy that you're going through right now. But Iran was broke. Anybody that bought oil from Iran, they couldn't do any business with us. You're not going to do business with America. China passed, everybody passed, they were broke. They didn't have money for Hamas, they didn't have money for Hezbollah. And your sons would be alive, and they certainly wouldn't be incarcerated like they are. It's a shame, but we're getting a lot of people out in a short period of time. So I'm going to go right over to here, and I'm going to sign in front of you. Is that okay? Good.
President Trump, after giving his inaugural address earlier today inside the Capitol Rotunda, now at Capital One Arena, shaking hands with families of the hostages. Many of those families have given Donald Trump credit in recent days, saying they do not think that this ceasefire, this deal, would have gotten across the finish line had it not been for Donald Trump.
I don't think that lady likes
of course, his
him.
Mideast envoy, teaming up with the Biden
that?
administration in those final days. They have said that they believe it was the addition of Donald Trump and his team that made this happen. Donald Trump saying he will head over to that table with a number of executive actions already laid out on the table in the presidential seal. Mary, Bruce, do we have an understanding of exactly what it is he's signing right here?
We don't have a full list right now, but we do know that this is going to be a tremendous effort for him to show straight out the gate just how aggressive he is being, as he has been touting all day. We know that he is signing a wide range of executive orders, ranging from rescinding any DEI or gender-related directives from the Biden administration to designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations and stealing rules.
Signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others.
Wait, you can do that with one signature? That's crazy. Bold, radical.
Thank you, sir.
Donald Trump there, President Trump now trying effectively to undo as much as he can
The
of
second
Joe
item,
Biden's
President
agenda
Trump,
there. Let's
is
listen
a
in
regulatory
to what he's
freeze,
doing
as you
next.
announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can I have a pen?
The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting the military and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately.
Why are they clapping for that? Like, what does that do? No, honestly, like, not even like good or bad. I'm not making a value judgment here. But why would that be something worthy of clapping? Like, what does that do for any of the people in the room? Yeah, finally, my bitch ass dad has to go back to work and work from the office. Like, what, is that it?
The cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly.
Also, what? This executive order is so stupid. He's going to address it. He's going to address the living crisis, cost of living crisis. Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty.
Another thing where it's like, why are you clapping for that? Good or bad? And this one is objectively like ridiculous, but clapping for that is so stupid. Easy not to worry about the living crisis when you're a millionaire? Are you talking about me? Are you stupid? Do you think signing an executive order saying that you're going to address the cost of living crisis is actually going to address the cost of living crisis? Because I'm not talking about the validity of the cost of living crisis. That much is, you know, apparent. I'm saying he's not taking an initiative on it at all. He's just signing a piece of paper. If you think that that in and of itself is enough, like it's over, we've solved it, you're a dumbass and probably voted for Donald Trump.
Ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward. And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
He's doing it. The Mag Lad, he's doing it. Oh my God. We've actually we are so devolved, dude. We have devolved as a society completely. This is peasant status. This is straightforward peasant shit. God damn, dude. This is crazy.
And there you have it, what replaced the typical inaugural parade in Washington every 4 years. A sort of rally, if you will, at the Capital One Arena. President Trump returning to the White House 8 years after he first served in 2017, the 45th and the 47th president of the United States.
99-0, Marco Rubio confirmed. Yeah, of course there's no resistance to that. Are you kidding me? The Senate confirmed Marco Rubio to be Secretary of State to 99-0. There's no anger. There is not going to be any resistance to anything, really. And all the resistance that you will get from the liberals in Congress will be like totally just on aesthetic grounds. But what you have to understand something is Marco Rubio also is the exact type of person that the Democrats want as Secretary of State. So from their calculations, Marco Rubio basically is an establishment figure. Like, it could have been so much worse in their eyes. You know what I mean? It could have been like Tulsi Gabbard or something. They see him as a competent war hawk, which is precisely the reason why they will always gladly vote for him. Bernie voted for Rubio? I don't know. Yeah. But having said that, here are the 12 Democrats that voted for the Laken-Riley Act. Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada. John Fetterman, of course, whose wife was an undocumented immigrant, by the way. Ruben Gallego from Arizona. Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire. Mark Kelly from Arizona. John Ossoff from Georgia. Gary Peters. Jackie Rosen. Jean Shaheen. Elisa Slotkin. Mark Warner. And also, and this is even more shocking, Raphael Warnock. Raphael Warnock voting for this to carry it across the finish line is so crazy. Especially because, does he even have a re-election coming up? Like, he's not even, this is not even like a, oh, my seat was in question and I have to, you know, I have to maintain my position. That's why I'm voting for this, like, reactionary bill. Yeah, he's up in 2028. Ossoff is in 2026. Maggie Hassan and Maggie Hassan, Mark Kelly. These are Maggie Hassan is the old hat rotating villain figurehead that I routinely reference, and it seems like these guys will be, if the Democrats ever actually seize power once again, many of these guys will be in the new rotating villain squad that always exists in the Democratic Party.